We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
Well, you know what I mean.
It's
It's
not round, but I understand what you're talking about.
yeah, it makes it a lot easier to do my math on this side, so I don't whistle.
Yeah.
So let me get this right. You thought it was a good idea to go up to the cop at a bank and yell and go in his ribs and say, "Stick him up." That's your idea of funny?
We got to have a meeting about the level of stupidity these things are because that and no by no means
Someone's like, "That guy's
that's
an
not
idiot."
that's not even in my lexicon. Stick them up.
I
Maybe reach for the sky, loser.
I have this thing I used to do at well, I still do it to this day. I offer a low sum of money to do something absolutely ridiculous, and I like to do it when I get bored at conferences or something like that. I'll be like,
Prostitutes?
what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, no, low
Okay.
budget. I'll bet someone $5 and I give them something ridiculous to do. And I the one I always do is like, I'll give you $5 to go up and take that cop's gun.
You're on. That's the best I've had in a week.
Or I'll tickle him in the ribs. You take his gun.
Well, one day you're going to meet somebody and it's not going to go well for you.
I'll be like, well, here's your $5, but I'm not
Okay.
paying your legal bills.
Silliness. So we're back. It's
Yes.
another Wednesday, Super Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I say
7:00-ish o'clock.
Yeah, we got the 45, so we're going to 50.
Yes, we are. That's easy enough. Hey, listen, I want to approach it now and just, it's not begging, it's just pleading for people to subscribe, pass on this information to other people. We need your help. I mean, at this point in time, there's no way to expand our audience if we don't get our audience helping. Oh, Dave wants to make a noise. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's no,
It doesn't make sense. How long you had that beer in the fridge? It's
I was going
flat.
to ask, is there a date? Best before sometime. Remember, we got
That
to get
was that was the bit in Chevy Chase did in Caddyshack. Remember, he fills up 2 bottles of Perrier and he puts a already open bottle cap on.
Yeah, that's when he's got that chick.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, he's trying to act like it's
I think
bubbling over.
She's another one that just died, I think.
Get out of here.
Yeah, the girl.
I don't even know who that was, but
Uh-oh, I'm making a mess.
oh, you dribbling beer? Good thing you're not driving.
Well,
Might be a giveaway.
okay. Yeah, officer, I'm dribbling beers.
I
By
swear
no
it
means
wasn't
do we
my
advocate
beer.
that.
Yes. No, we would never do that. So
Okay, that's actually pretty tasty. The third week in the refrigerator.
really, is that the aging period for Sam
I think
Adams?
so. This is Yingling. I don't know how
Oh,
long.
Yingling. Sorry. Yeah.
Is there a date that you're supposed to drink them by?
I'm sure. Well, that was a big thing. I don't know if they still do it.
For Budweiser.
Budweiser. But they got smart and changed. I think it's a born on date now instead of having. Yeah, are your kids as focused on the
No.
expiration dates as this generation is? It's like my kids won't touch it if the date on the package is today or it has passed. They're like, oh no, I guess it's not no good. I said it says best sold by.
We
Doesn't mean
couldn't
it has to
afford
be
groceries
eaten
if
by.
we didn't buy all the dented cans and the out of dates.
That's how I fed when I worked at the grocery store. And I used to accidentally, I'd accidentally find leakers in the milk section. Oh, I got a leaker, and they'd sell it to me for $1 or whatever it was. And a few
All
dented
right.
cans here and there of Dinty Moore soups, and
I don't know. I know that they are aware of it.
it does affect me a little bit, but I'll smell it and all right,
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. As soon as we
that's
get
it.
the new health and services guy up and running, we're not going to have any preservatives in our food, and so
Everything's gonna be. It's not even make the shelf.
stuff's going to expire a little faster than normal. I would assume. I mean, I don't care. That I don't think the average person realizes. I always say you're going to die anyway. I mean,
I think I've conditioned my body to accept those.
carcinogens.
Yeah, to take all that stuff in at this point in time.
So you make it to 84 to 90 years old.
Right. We have plenty of people living past 100 these days. So, and not many of them really want to live past 100. If you
That's
talk
all.
to most people in their 90s, are like, I'm ready.
That's all the red dye number 5 and the preservatives in the food. That's why.
Is that it? Okay. Well, I'm sure you could make a study that says that for you. That's where I always love this statement. Well, there's a study on it. Yeah, there's a million studies on it because in this day and age, especially if you want tenure or anything else, especially at a teaching organization, you have to be published. And if you publish something germane or to get it published, if your subject is germane and boring, hardly anybody's going to pick it up. So you find something tantalizing and you make the numbers match that, and then you sell it. The trick is, I always tell people, so which journal was it published in? I don't know. Well, that's the difference. And one of these studies or anything else, once it makes it into a journal, there's a pretty good success that it's true. Although the whole immunizations causes
Yeah.
what's the childhood thing, got into a journal mistakenly and then it got scrutinized and they found out the numbers were made up. So even then stuff can slip
Well, I'm
by.
sure there's money involved somehow. So if you
Well,
get
that's what I'm
published,
saying. It is. You get
Yeah.
published, you get recognition, you get tenure, you get more money, you're up for more stuff. So that's why there's a real struggle and the shortcut is to make your study tantalizing. Like cigarettes are good for you. You're,
Huh?
yeah. Someone's going to publish that because it's going to sell clicks and things of that nature.
Were you a big fan of the TV series Mad Men?
No, I didn't watch that.
Sheila and I just we went through a couple series. There was Mad Men. I think it was USA Network that did these things. And
Yeah,
then,
that or AMC. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Suits was another
Mhm.
one.
I didn't watch that one either yet.
Well, and you can, what do you call
Stream
that?
them. Stream
Yeah.
them. Binge watch or whatever you want to
Binge
call
watch, yeah. But the Mad Men was so, I don't want to say iconic because everybody says that, but I wasn't around in the 50s and the 60s because this is the era where the guys came home from World War II in 1945,
Mhm.
and Madison Avenue, the advertising. Of course, everybody knows what Mad Men is, but a lot of these people were working in the 50s and 60s, and of course, I wasn't born until 63. But it's an era that I remember. A lot of the furniture, of course, was Herman Miller, and mid-century modern was the decor, and I just ate that space up. I love that from a design standpoint. But those guys, when they started talking about cigarettes advertising, we can't use doctors anymore to say they're good for us, and the stuff they would get away with,
well, it still happens in this day and age, although there's a little bit more scrutiny and openness to it than there used to be because information flows a lot faster these days. But you move ahead of that. You just have to move faster in this day. I mean, look at the opioid crisis. What they were convincing doctors of before everybody the Secklers, whatever their name were.
That's a horrible story. Those people,
yeah, Purdue Pharma, what they
did.
were doing to people. Yeah.
Yeah,
And there's, you watch I don't know how accurate some of the documentaries are on it, but the president, the CEO's mantra was, and him and his doctor buddy are like, well, the solution to get off of it is to give them more. They convinced the doctors to go
it was
even
like heroin
more.
or something, wasn't it? I mean, it was.
Well, it just hit that center of the brain that and then the mind would just demand more and more and more, and there was no way to get off of it. No healthy way to get off of it. So,
were you ever prescribed that stuff?
I don't know. I don't as much as I have a low tolerance for pain, but I never liked taking those kinds of drugs because they make you so loopy. So I would only take enough. I would take one, like you get a molar extractor or something like that. I would take one and then see how, and I would try to stretch out the time until it got unbearable before I took another one. I wouldn't take it every 4 hours or anything,
Right.
because I didn't like the way it made me feel. Now, the last time I had to go for my big boy exam, they gave me propofol. You don't
No,
do it. You do
I do the box.
the crap liquor.
I
Yeah,
poop in the
as I
box.
call it.
Poop in the
Well,
box.
they dress him up like a little human in the commercial, so I'm calling him a crap liquor.
Oh, that's mean.
Well, I say it differently, but for the
What's
kids at home,
what's that
keep
guy's
it
what is that? That's
color guard or something.
collar guard, yeah.
Polling guard.
Pulling guard, that's it.
Color guards, the guys who come out with
Those
American
guys with their
flags. Little different, a little different, but they give you propofol now. That's the Michael Jackson drug. Killed him.
Oh, good.
Well, it wasn't being administered correctly. For one, he didn't need it, and
Well,
two,
apparently not.
the doctor left the room. But man, you wake up from that, and it's like you've had a 3-day nap. It's unbelievable. So
I don't understand. Yeah, so I'm the opposite. I think I have a high tolerance for pain. The stuff that I've gone through, people tell me I do, but so I can't remember the last time I had something happen and they prescribed me oxycontin, whatever you call it.
mhm.
And I told the guy, I said, "No, I don't want that. Give me something else." Maybe,
Codeine or something like that. Yeah.
I think I get the codeine, but the codeine messes up my stomach. So
Mm.
I just told him, "Look, I don't want it. I'll suck it up, go through it." So
I had. You ever have a kidney stone?
no, fortunately not. Knock on wood. I've avoided
That
those.
is, whoa! I had one once, and knock on wood, it hasn't come again. But I really didn't know what it was at the beginning, and then I went to one of those urgent
Doc-
care places, and they're
Doctors,
like, "If you what, doctor?
doctor.
Yeah, doctor. What do you call them?" I went to the urgent care, and they're like, "We don't have X-rays here, so if the pain comes back, make sure you go to an ER." So the pain came back, and I was 99% sure it was a kidney stone at that point. And so I went to the ER, and the ER was full. And I mean, I was in agony pain at this point. I mean, the kids were young, so Barb couldn't drive me, so I drove myself.
Yeah.
And I remember it was just the longest agonizing drive I got there, and I come in there like, "Sir, we're full. It will take your name, and you can wait." And I'm like, I can't. Yeah, I was in just agonizing pain. They're like, you know, I said, "Well, I'm going to go outside and call an ambulance, because if you arrive by ambulance, they have to admit you."
Huh.
And so she goes, "Sir, please don't do that." I'm like, "Please just get me in as best as you can." So it ended up being, and then a girl that OD'd came in by ambulance, and so she got admitted ahead of me.
You
And I'm
couldn't
thinking
jump
to
on her
myself,
gurney. I mean, she would.
well, what really annoyed me was her mother came in like 10 minutes later and says, "I think my daughter just came. She OD'd." And they're like, "Yeah, she's back there. We'll take you back." She goes, "This is the second time this month." And I'm thinking, "Oh, and she still got ahead of me." She's
How
second time.
irresponsible she is.
Yeah. And so what they did is they went ahead and put the IV in my arm, so that as soon as I got admitted, they could plug me up with drugs, right? They were
Right.
getting but they couldn't administer them until I was admitted.
Mm.
So they put me in like this little waiting room. I ended up being in so much pain. I remember getting up. By this time, it's like 2 a.m. I get up, and I think I fell to the floor. And the next thing I know, they're picking me up off the floor. I'm crying on the floor in the ER. They said, "We'll admit you now."
They're all back there going, "Yeah, this is a guy said he was going to buy an ambulance. Just let him sit there. He's really putting on all the stops."
I felt like such a jerk. They're like, "It's okay, sir. It's okay." I'm like, "I'm dying." I was, oh, and I've women who have had kidney stones says it's worse than labor. Not me saying that.
Well, I had a client that had him. He owned a landscape company, and apparently he was out in the heat all the time. And you're supposed to
Yes.
keep drinking fluids. And he said, "Dave, it was like passing sand spurs." But while it was in his back, it was his lower back. Is that
Yeah.
what messed you up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
they thought they were
because
going to
your
have to
kidneys are
operate
back
on him.
there, and it's just, and then you finally get the stone out, and you look at it, and I don't even know how to describe the size of it. It's minuscule, most of the time.
but it's
Some
like
have to be
shards of
broken down.
glass. Yeah, it's like really.
Yeah. Going down your urethra is basically what it is. And so when I went to the urologist to, make sure what was going on, all that. So long story short, I carried around pain pills for a while because if one started again, because he said there was still some in there, but they weren't looking like they were going to come off. But he goes, here's some pain pills in case you have another episode here in the next 6 months.
So is that what you tell your HR department when you have the impromptu drug test?
I had a kidney stone.
Mr. Woody, you've got barbiturates here in your pocket. What's going on?
Nothing. It's kidney stones.
Kidney
Just leave it
stones.
at that.
You don't have kidney stones?
Yeah.
All right, we got off on a crazy run this morning.
I had material to talk about, and that wasn't even close to any of them.
Well, sometimes we ramble. Let's back up just for a second for our listeners, both of them. We are experimenting with getting personal, a little bit more personal. We're not going to stop the fart jokes and the silliness, but the reality is we want to reveal the underbelly, the softer side of Dave and Woody, and so our listeners can get to know us a little bit, and then maybe identify with some of our stuff that we've got going on. Some of you may have had a kidney stone. I don't know.
I was talking to one of our listeners today.
You
as
did?
a matter of fact. Yeah.
In London?
He was in town. No, this it's someone you don't even know. So not family or anything.
Wow. Do you know?
Yeah, I knew him from where I used to work.
Oh, okay.
And
they're still
they
a
stopped.
listener?
Yeah. They mentioned it. We went out for lunch and he mentioned it. So, you know who you are.
Yeah,
So,
you do.
Yeah, you do.
Hi. That's the beer talking. Okay.
So,
well, today's Wednesday, which is kind of a weird day because now we're back up. We did Thursday last week. So we've taken a day out of the circulation of material that could have happened. But it's been a weird week.
You know what I did Saturday?
You didn't watch the race.
Well, I could have, but I went, oh, you know what? Double story. So, I went to a comedy show for the first time in probably 20 years.
Anyone we know, or just a kind of
yeah, you probably do. Kevin Nealon,
older guy.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah. SNL. Remember him?
Yeah.
Did Hans and Franz? Hear me now. Listen to me later. Dude, yeah, he was in town and I happened to see it, and I didn't even know we had a comedy club in town, to be honest with you. The one I remember. No, it's a real Comedy Zone. I didn't know where it was though. And so I just asked Barbara, I said, you want to go? She's like, yeah, why not? She goes, I didn't even know he was a stand-up. I'm like, either did I, but let's go check it out. So long story short, so I was getting ready to go. And I was, I wasn't getting ready to go. I got up Saturday morning or whatever, and I still in my pajamas, if you will, still in my bedtime clothes. And something caught my attention while I was walking down the hallway. And you know how you look back and it's nothing there, but then you continue to walk forward. I absolutely sucker punched my pinky toe into the corner of a wall going around the corner. I mean, crushed it in the corner to the point that I'm pretty sure I broke my toe.
So like where it drags back 180 degrees back on your foot.
I was like, so, of course, I dropped to the floor in pain. And speaking of pain, I could have used a painkiller then. And I kind of, get it back and get my sock on or whatever. And I go downstairs and the wife's like, hey, what happened upstairs? I heard you hit the ground and like, you didn't even think to check on me. It was like, hey, oh, you heard him hit the ground. Yeah, I guess everything's so. I'll just wait till he comes down and see if everything's okay. I'm like, thanks.
You should throw yourself down the stairs.
So I have a majorly black and blue foot at this point in time, from the pinky toe all the way across all my other toes. So, but I was thinking, because we were walking into the club. Well, I wasn't walking. I was kind of dragging my foot in. Barb was a little far ahead of me, and a car pulls in, and a guy jumps out, and it's Kevin Nealon. So we met Kevin Nealon in the parking lot. And he said, "Hey, we know you." He goes, "Yeah, I was looking for you."
Yeah. Did you
Pretty
tell him about the
quick-witted.
pod?
No, I'm usually very quick, with something smart. Like I should have said, "Hey, Franz," from Hans and Franz, or
Yeah,
something
sure.
like that. I didn't want to just say, "Hey, I know you." That's just,
Yeah.
run of the mill. I was actually a little starstruck, and I didn't
That's
say
okay.
anything.
That's okay.
So, but I should have pushed it that
So
way.
was
But
he a good show?
yeah, I would recommend going. I thought it
Did he
was.
do a little Hans and Franz?
No, he doesn't. Didn't even mention SNL as part of his act or anything. One of the funniest bits he kept doing, and he did it right when he came out. He's like, "Hey, I got to tell you this one thing, and then I got to go." He gives, like 30 seconds, and he kept doing bits like that. It was just something small and stupid, but it kept catching me off guard. It was very well
Yeah.
done show. So
Yeah, he's in that group. That's another. I don't want to say acquired. He's funny, acquired
yeah,
taste, but he's I don't know how to describe him, but
he had some good material.
well, that's cool. I think that's kind of my wife and I went to a comedy club on our honeymoon up in North Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we honeymooned up there a long time ago, but and we kind of met at a comedy club. Now that I think about it, that was our. We didn't. It wasn't our first date, but it was. I met her for lunch
Oh yeah,
over at a.
is that why she calls you a clown?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
But we
It
we
was a little different. I was a clown in the circus, and yeah, she was a spectator.
all right. I don't know where we're going with that, but anyway.
You were going
So
to tell me where you met her. Go ahead, tell me.
no, it's okay. It was at a comedy zone, but it was I'd met her for lunch, and part of the weekend was we were all going to go to this comedy club, and she was with another friend, and I was smitten at that time. So I said, "Well,
Yeah.
I'll see you guys at the comedy club." I can't even remember who was there.
I was going
It
to ask
was-
you, who was the act?
yeah, I mean, if I saw, I could say
Soupy
that. Yeah.
Sales?
No, I don't think so. I can't remember the guy's name, but it doesn't matter.
Bob
We're still
Hope?
together. That's all that matters. Um, okay, so it's kind of a weird week. It's been a pressure week for me because of my work with the Future Business Leaders of America folks. We're in crunch time to get all of our paperwork in and our money in, and so I got my whole goal this year was to not have to overnight the check for the registration, and you have to get all this paperwork done, and it's due the 27th. It has to be in her hands on the 20th tomorrow. And so I wasn't going to make it, and so I overnighted it yesterday. So she'll have it. She has
On
it
the
today.
taxpayer's bill, I assume.
No, I paid for it.
Really? Nice of
Yeah,
you.
30
Nice of
bucks.
you. What?
Yeah,
30 bucks to ship an envelope?
U.S. Postal Service. My buddies. She has a PO box where it has to go, so the U.S. Postal is the only place that'll take it to a PO box. So 30
Man,
bucks
that's
overnight.
amazing. It's more with
Well,
FedEx or them. I know. Well,
it goes
maybe
to
not.
Zephyr Hills, Florida. It's cheaper. I offered to drive it to her one time. I
Yeah.
said, "Look, I'm just going to drive it down there, but I'm sure it'd have been 60 bucks plus my time."
Right.
But it works out. We got it done. And then we had an event at school. I won't get into too many details, but we had one of these things where we're bringing sixth graders over next year, and so they wanted to have a chance for the parents to come out and see, not an
Yeah.
orientation, but visit and see what our offerings
Get a
are.
lay of the land, if you
Yeah.
will.
So
I remember doing those.
I was in the gymnasium speaking. I didn't realize it was going to be two shifts. The first group came through, all sixth graders, and I'm like, okay, that was a lot of people. I'm ready to go home. And they said, oh wait, we got seventh graders coming in. So it was 2.5.
Well, wait a second. Why do seventh graders come in?
Well, typically we're adding sixth graders to the plate this year.
Right.
We're adding them to our junior high status or middle school, whatever we call it.
Oh, so you're adding a grade to middle school.
Yeah. So this year
Oh,
will be the
okay.
only year that we do sixth and seventh
I
orientation.
got you.
And
All right.
after that,
I'm
it's
back
gonna
on
be-
page. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool. The cool thing is it's my space. I love talking to people. I love being in that, as I say, pressing the flesh, talking to them, introducing myself, getting the kids excited, getting the parents excited. But man, it's taxing. I got home and I was just wiped. I was just.
It's a certain level of concentration when you're speaking to the crowd. That
Precisely.
just wipes your your energy. Have you ever driven like when you're driving in a rainstorm or any particular situation that takes an inordinate amount of concentration?
Focus. Yeah.
You get there and you're just wiped out for doing it for hours.
Yeah, I mean,
So
if you're good, the fellow that I was working was a little bit young, well, a lot younger than I am, and I kept waiting for him, and he wouldn't step up, and so I said, "Look, I'm going to run with it. I'll show you how to do this, and then I'm going to refer to you, and you're going to have to step up." He goes, "Okay, well, I just don't know what to say," and so you're right, though. You have to listen. You have to tune in to what they're saying and the body language and the questions they're asking, so you can come back with a response. And then you're trying to make the kids feel comfortable and the parents feel comfortable that you're going to give them the information. I love the space. I love talking to people like that. But like I said, I got home and I sat on the sofa and just conked out for a little bit and then got up and went to bed. So, but it's been this
what
week. This is only Wednesday. That was last night.
hump day?
Yeah. So I kept thinking, God, I can't wait till Thursday, but that's tomorrow. We have a meeting.
Tomorrow I can just sit back in my classroom and not do a
Well,
damn thing.
I really can't. I got a meeting
I
first thing in the
know.
morning with my kids, and I gotta hand out paperwork for them to get. So this whole build up to this event is pretty big. For you teachers out there that might be listening, it's field trip time. And there's all these documentation you have to go through to get field trips ready. So it's crazy.
I was thinking about, what was I thinking about the other day? We went on a field trip to the Liberty Bell, but
Wow.
nothing what it must be in this day and age. There was some field trip we took. I'm like, there's no way you could pull that off in this day and age. I have to hate that
Well,
I even brought it up. That I can't finish the thought. But
there's a couple people I know that still take their kids to like Washington D.C. and
they do that down here. Yeah.
yeah, and there used to be a lady over at adjoining where my daughter went to junior high, and we were trying to get Sarah interested in it. She never really did, but this poor woman took 60 kids to Washington D.C. by train. I think they rode up there, and
That's crazy.
that is
They do it by
nuts.
bus from here. The middle school does it here. They go to Washington, D.C. All my kids did that trip.
Yeah, that would be one and done for me, I think.
That I can't imagine. You talk about concentration levels. There's no downtime on those trips. So you're
Yeah,
at it for days.
so we have a deal where we go to the state conference, and it's a nice hotel. They've got a lazy river swimming pool. If you skip over the wall, you're in a parking lot. But you know how it is in Orlando. They do
Yeah,
things.
I know.
But I've come out and said we're not swimming, and they're like, "Come on, Mr. Theus, that's not cool." And I said, "Look, we're not on holiday. If you want to
All
go
right.
to Orlando and go swimming, you take your parents can take you." But I don't want that phone call where I'm down at Orange Memorial Hospital saying, "Oh, by the way, come get your kid."
Yeah. Or
I
they
don't
got
want
some strange bacteria from the pool or something like that,
that. I just don't need the headache. So it's okay. I mean, the first time we did it, the kids were kind of upset, and I'm like, "Well, get over it because I'm not taking you swimming." So
You're the future business leaders of America. Business leaders don't swim.
that's right.
Swimming's for losers.
There's no swimming in business leading. No crying in baseball.
That's right.
Anyway.
So, all right, interesting. So you got the national. Should you go to nationals here? Isn't it in L.A. or something?
Anaheim.
Yeah, that's L.A., Dave. Essentially, yeah, it's just south of there.
Essentially.
Yeah,
It's not
maybe
Sacramento.
maybe the fires will get you out of that one this year.
I told anyone could any given Sunday, right? Anyone could get us there, any one of our kids. But there's this
Right.
one young lady who has presented herself. She may be the dark horse. She
Right.
may be the one that gets us there. And I told her, I said, look, if you earn a spot, we'll go. We'll figure it out. But
I think Disneyland's across the street, Dave. So you got that going for you.
yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do any of it. But if she earns a spot or whoever earns a spot, I'll figure out a way to do it.
Right.
Because
It's not a cheap trip by any means.
It's
but
about the kids, Woody. It's about the kids.
is it? It's all about the kids. Giving for the kids. That's nice of you.
Yeah.
So,
Right. That's all I got.
it's it. I thought
No,
you said
I got-
something about another headline or something.
Well, I don't want to come out of that story and go right to this headline because it's involves flying.
Oh, well, let me tell you, the boys down at the Gimps have done it again, Dave.
The Gimps?
Yeah.
Is it a sports team?
No.
What's a
You
GIMP?
know, the great internet Mercine Prime search. Gimps.
I'm not familiar with what you're talking about yet.
Oh man. Well, the boys down there, well, maybe ladies too. I don't want to be sexist on this, but they've discovered a new prime number.
Really?
Yeah.
How exciting.
Yeah, I know, right? I was floored when I
I was
heard
just
this.
thinking, it's been a while since we've had a
It
new
has.
prime.
It's been 16 years since the last time they
I was
last
just
time they
saying to
discovered.
myself, how long has it been? So what do you got for us? Can you
Well, it's
enumerate
the
it?
number. The number is over 40 million digits long, and
Oh,
it's two. You remember 2 to the power, right?
well, yeah.
So it's 2 to 136,279,841. Oh, and don't forget to subtract 1 from that, and then you have the next prime number they've discovered.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if our little friend knows about this. Alexa, are you aware of the newest prime number discovery?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Ask her what the highest prime number is.
Alexa, what is the highest prime number?
There is no largest prime number, but the largest found so far is 2 to the power of 77,232,000.
No, she's way behind.
Minus
Way
1
behind.
over Sen prime discovered in December 2017.
See, I said that was the
Yeah.
last one.
No,
This
that's
was
okay.
confirmed on October 12th, 2024.
Okay, so prime is, hold on. Alexa, define prime number. Divided by itself, right?
From Vedan2.com. A prime number is a natural number which is greater than 1 and it can be divided by 1 or itself.
There
Okay,
you
so
go.
I had that. It was divisible by 1 or itself. So
Right. 2, 3.
3 is not prime.
Yes, it is.
Divided by
What
itself.
divides evenly into 3 other than itself and 1?
1,
Yeah, that's
3.
what she said. 1
Oh,
and 3.
Okay.
Divisible by itself or 1.
So 4.
And it has to be a natural number, Dave. No artificial numbers.
No
Whatever
artificial
that is,
sweeteners.
I don't know what that meant.
So, wow,
Yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that keeps you awake at night.
I know. That's why I wanted to let everybody know in case they were wondering what was going on with the GIMPS group.
So
Yeah.
I don't understand what motivates somebody to do that.
Well, apparently prime numbers are very extremely important in modern day encryption. So
Is that
the
like the
more,
length of our password for the future?
yeah,
is 2 to the
yeah, I guess so.
millionth power?
2 to the 136 million.
Oh, don't forget the characters, please.
Because this guy, I mean, the guy who runs this group now, it's kind of it's not a non-profit, it's just a private person kind of started this research project. I don't know what year it was found
Did he
in.
play Dungeons and Dragons in high school?
Probably. It's got that he's got a die the size of I'm trying to think of a
basketball.
large ball.
He's got a big die.
He's-
That guy's packing. All right, go ahead. What were
So
you saying?
anyhow, no, I was saying the guy he's built his own. He worked for NVIDIA and he was but he built like a $2 million home computer, supercomputer that has been cranking out computations, trying to figure the next, just continues to crank out and check for prime numbers. And so that's where it was last. Apparently, the higher you get, the farther apart. Like the first 4 are 2, 3, 5, 7. And then the spacing gets larger because then it goes 11 and 13, 17. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you saw the one that she announced from 2017 was 2 to 17 million, I think, or 77 million. I don't remember. Now we're at 2 to 136 million and change. So, but don't forget to do a -1. I don't want you to forget that. That'll throw you off.
What does the -1 do for
It's
us?
just the formula, how you get, it's the way to represent that number.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want you to run with the +1 and get all embarrassed when you announce
when I'm
at your
out
next
there,
meeting.
and like, this guy's an amateur, Frank amateur. He forgot the -1.
He's off by 1. So yeah, I thought I'd pass that little tidbit of knowledge along.
Well, that's bonus round.
Yeah. So
If you're jotting these down, these are jewels.
this is
So,
kind of stuff you get on We Can Help with Dave and Woody.
well, because you
Mhm.
know. So let's change gears real quick. So I'm on LinkedIn, right? Many other places, and especially for our Sigma Chi brothers that are on LinkedIn in the private group, because whatever. And it's rare that you ever get a solicitation on LinkedIn from you get these people that a social media, they try to leech on to your social media account, and then before you know it, they're asking you questions, and it's like this doesn't sound right
They want money.
or something. So
Right.
take you to my page. You're the only fan page. Anyway, so this woman, um, you can kind of look at her picture. I'm not going to give you the name because I'll just tell you she's a senior customer engagement executive. Sounds pretty with SAP Success Factors.
That's Salesforce.
Is it?
Yeah.
So it says as a senior customer engagement executive at SAP Success Factors, I have been working with regulated industries in the defense and aviation sectors for over 4 years. My role involves ensuring that my customers are supported throughout their entire life cycle with success factors from inception to renewal and growth. I collaborate with customers to provide them with the resources they need to implement, adopt, and renew their success factor solutions. Almost done. I am proud to support these fabulous customers and work together to achieve their goals and objectives. I also hold a bachelor's of engineering degree from IBA, wherever that is, which has equipped me with the technical skills and knowledge to excel in my role. Okay, so she sounds pretty
Very well.
professional.
Yeah.
So then the messaging begins.
Oh,
So,
so you accepted or something, or
she sent me, she's stateside, at least that's what her thing says. I have a rule: if you're not in the United States, I don't accept you. And
Okay.
if you look like it could be something I could collaborate with or expand my network, I'm all about, helping people out, expanding my network. And so she says, excited to connect. Hi, David. I trust you're having a great day. I'm Sally, we'll say. It's
Mhm.
nice to see that we both know another fella, one other person. So that's a lead in. I would appreciate
Oh,
any.
she didn't put the name in.
No, she did. I'm not gonna
Okay,
I'm not
you're
gonna mention the
substituting.
name.
Okay.
I would appreciate any insights or advice you could share. Thank you for your time. Best, Sally.
Yeah.
So I didn't respond because typically I'm like, no, this is
No,
not.
I wouldn't. Yeah, unless you ask a direct question.
So then
Yeah.
she says, hi, David. Nice to meet you. Hope you have a nice Friday. Then I don't respond again. And it's Monday at 4:30 p.m. Have a nice Monday. I'm playing hard to get at this point. So then I hit the formulated reply, thanks, you too. And then she says at 7:39 p.m. my time, are you done with work for the day? And of course, now my interest has peaked, a little bit. I said,
Really?
yes.
So to me, that's
Well, I know where we're going with this.
Oh, okay.
And so I said, yes, I am. So, it's very vague. And
You
she goes,
should have said something about like the porn industry shuts down regularly around 7.
no, we're not going there. So she goes, oh, okay. Enjoy your dinner. I thought you had retired. Now she's snooping around in my, stuff.
Right.
And I said, thanks. I can't stop working. I'm a business education teacher now and keep working. That's great. I'm sure I'll learn a lot of business from chatting with you. I don't think so because this conversation is almost over.
Obviously, you didn't read my bio.
Then she says, this will be beneficial for my future business. I'm like, I'm sorry. My billable hour is 150 an hour. So, I think I know where this is going, but we're going to put a stop to that pretty soon.
Oh, so you didn't follow through with anything?
No, it's just those people are.
Well, there's several schools that are called IBA, but I think the most International Business Academy would be my best guess, not the Institute of Beauty Artistry or the International Ballet Academy.
Well, she
So
says she's with SAP, so you said that was something.
I think that's
It's a logo.
Salesforce.
Yeah.
Yes, SAP is
And
some
then
sort of
a BE student, Bachelor of Engineering, IBA. and then an engineering trainee, internee at PSO. All these acronyms. Army Public School. I don't know.
Maybe
So
SAP isn't Salesforce. I thought it was. There is SAP, the company. But I thought maybe one of their products was.
success factors, software development.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right.
I don't understand these. What is the MO? What is their
The first thing I think I forget what they call this type of attack.
fishing? The fishing.
No, phishing. Well, maybe it is. I think there's another name for it though, and I can't keep track because I have to take all that training at work all the time about the different kinds of ways they attack. But they're trying to gain your confidence is all they're doing, and then the sob story starts at some point, right? And either they're going to ask for money, or they're going to try to get you to share some information with them that will then, further
Have you
their.
seen the pictures of the guys in China? And they got like this room. It's like a sweatshop, and there's
Yeah,
this
it's in
giant,
India mostly.
giant table, and there's like 1,500 phones,
Yeah.
and they're all up there, mashing these. That's horrible.
There's some great YouTube videos out there of there's guys here in the States who scam the scammers, and they're brilliant, man. What they'll do is they'll hack the centers wherever these guys are huddled up at. They'll hack their closed circuit TV system, and they'll start watching them while they're scamming them, and they'll say, hey, they'll start naming something. They'll get them really deep in, and they'll start saying things that are around them kind of innocuously. And the guys, and you hear them go, wait, what? Like, how do you
can see
know,
us.
John? And they'll wipe their computer. Oh, it's hilarious to watch these guys get pissed off when they get scammed back. But mostly it's like backroom shops in India are a big. There's a real support organization out front, and then the scammers line up in the back to do the other kind of work. So,
all right, we got short time here.
3 minutes.
Well, I have a funny. It's not funny. It's another sad story.
All right.
Did you see the headline about the couple had to sit next to a corpse after a woman died mid-flight?
That's brutal.
Flight attendants placed the body of a woman who died during a 14-hour flight in a seat next to a couple from Australia.
Oh,
Can you imagine?
man.
All right, let me read
How
this.
did they get picked? Because they had an empty middle seat
Well,
or
you
something?
better be some free tickets coming my way.
I know, right? Free drinks at the very least.
Yeah, can I have her biscuits, please?
Yeah.
That she's not gonna eat?
When the cart comes by, you go,
I'll
she's
take
going to
two
have
biscottis, please. She's not going to be eating tonight.
Now you say she's asleep, but she wanted so.
Well, listen to this policy stuff. Let me do this real quick. So, an Australian couple's dream trip to Venice turned into a nightmare when flight attendants asked them to stay seated next to the body of a passenger who had died mid-flight for the final 4 hours of a 14-hour trip from Melbourne, Australia to Doha, Qatar. A passenger collapsed during the flight. Flight attendants tried to save her, but were unsuccessful. Mitchell Ring, another passenger on the flight, said in an interview with Australian news program, they did everything they could, but unfortunately the lady couldn't be saved, which was pretty heartbreaking to watch, he said. The crew tried to move the body to business class using a wheelchair.
Well, where was she to begin with?
I don't know, but it was too large to be moved through the aisle. So they chopped her body up into pieces.
No, God, oh, you would go.
Okay, so here's the policy. What is the protocol when a person dies mid-flight? While distressing moving the body of someone who has died to a seat is normal protocol, according to guidelines set by the International Air Transport Association and an airline trade group, here are the standard procedures. Alert the captain, by all means. Oh, by the way,
you got one dead one already, Captain.
One soul down.
Yeah.
The captain will advise the authorities at the destination airport so that officials can be ready to meet the flight when it lands, according to the association. Next, move the deceased to a seat with few passengers around. If the flight is full, the body should be returned to its original seat or one that doesn't obstruct an aisle or exit. Be aware of the difficulty of the situation for companions and onlookers.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, here's the best part. Put the body in a body bag, zip it up to the body's neck, and secure the body in place. So I guess her head's sticking out of the thing.
Why would it even matter at that point? But okay.
Well, I
Yeah,
guess
I
so
wonder
you,
what the thinking is there.
well, so you can keep track of who it is.
Yes.
Place her with a seatbelt around her. If no body bag is available, cover the corpse with a
In case turbulence.
step
That body's
3.
banging against the ceiling.
Step 3, close the eyes because nobody wants to stare at that the whole day.
Well, if you put the bag all the way up, you don't have to worry about the eyes.
Okay, so then when you land, keep in mind you want to disembark living passengers first. Wait a minute. Family members should stay with the body.
Oh,
Yeah, this is disgusting. I can't. I guess it happens sometimes.
yeah, I would, especially longer flights like that. Yeah, I mean, there's no emergency at that point.
Well,
So
so the pilot says, yeah. So you have very little options at 39,000 feet. Mr.
that makes
Alvarado
sense.
said.
I'm a little creeped out when I'm sitting on the plane waiting to take off and you see a coffin come up the luggage
Yeah,
cart
that
into the
gets me.
back. Even that's a little like, oh,
Yeah, we got one on board.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right.
Anyway, so
Well,
that was-
we're a minute over now with that. So that was a pretty funny story, Dave. I
Well,
appreciate
I
that.
find these headlines. I don't like to do headlines, but if they're kind of catchy, why not?
And I did not see that one. So that's good.
All right. You want to end on that?
Yeah.
Are we going to jump over to spaces?
Oh, just for you, Dave.
We have to.
Only for you.
All right. I'll put a note. By the way, if you're listening to this
Live.
right now, go now. We jump over to we call it the after party, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a party over at X, formerly known as Twitter.
And we almost ran out of room last time
Oh yeah, we had so many people
at the party. Yeah.
Yeah, we had 2 extra people.
Yeah.
Except
2 extra
for
people.
us. What was her name? Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah, if you're listening, thank you.
Well, it's not live, Woody. She's not going to know this until next week. Oh yeah.
But if
right.
she knows about the show now, she might be listening to this episode.
On this one later.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm with you. Hi, Sarah. All right.
Ugh. Now we know who the brilliant one is in this team.
That's the beer. All right. So listen, subscribe to us on YouTube. Click the subscription button, please. We can't do anything until we get that to happen. And then, of course, listen to us on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, which is a cool platform. iHeartRadio. I think it's like lesser commercials on iHeartRadio, which is not good. Don't listen to us there. We can't get paid without commercials.
We need more money.
And Podcast Addict. But by all means, subscribe on YouTube, and we look forward to seeing you again. And I don't know, what do you call this episode? It wasn't titillating. It was
Miraculous. Spectacular.
spectacular. All right, we're gonna say goodnight. Good night, Gracie.
Good night.